said and done, I just never took the time. But you were always on my mind. You were always on my mind. Tell me that your sweet love hasn't died, and give me one more chance to keep you satisfied. I'll keep you satisfied. Have said and done, I just never took the time. But you were always on my mind. You were always on my mind. You were always on my mind.
Thank you kindly for listening to 105.5 The Duck.
Well, I'm back again for another night of trying to break free from this sadness that I can't lay to rest. This old honky tonk sure does feel like home, and the music with the laughter seemed to soothe my loneliness. Turn it up, turn me loose from remembering, driving me lonely, crazy and blue. It helps me forget it. If a tear should fall, if I should whisper her name to some stranger I'm holding while we're dancing to an old Buck Owens song, I know she won't mind. She won't even know. She'll be dancing with the memory, crying teardrops of her own. Turn it up, turn me loose from remembering, driving me lonely, crazy and blue. It helps me forget her, so louder the better. Hey, mister, turn it on, turn it up, turn me loose. Turn it up, turn it up.
Arkansas owned. EAB, East Arkansas Broadcasters. This is The Duck, 105.5, KWAK Stuttgart, and KOTN Gould.
The EAB Sports Network presents Stuttgart Ricebird baseball and softball coverage this season. Brought to you by Ag Heritage, Baptist Health Stuttgart, Blue Seal Petroleum, Coker Hampton, Durden Heating and Cooling, Express Employment, Farmers and Merchants Bank, Freemeyer's Best Brands Plus, The French Seam, Southern Bancorp, Katie Shack, Konechny Insurance, Lehman Tree Service, Lane, Max Prairie Wings, Pearson Company, Prairie Implement Company, Stedman's Ace Hardware, TechStream, U.S. Irrigation, and Wilkerson Jewelers. Ricebird coverage starts now.
From a very cool and windy Ricebird Athletic Complex, it's time for Ricebird Baseball on 105.5 The Duck. I'm Cole Sherman. Andrew Skinner on the EAB Stuttgart YouTube channel, and Luke Methvin back at the station on the 105.5 The Duck board as the Ricebirds get set to take on the Southside Batesville Southerners in the consolation third-place game on Championship Saturday of the 4A2 Regional Tournament here in Stuttgart. It has been a long few days, but the Ricebirds have worked their way from the opening round to the final day of the tournament, playing for a number 3 seed in next week's 4A state tournament being held in Monticello. Winner of this game will be the number 3 seed representative out of the 2 region. The loser will be the number 4 seed. The game later today at 2:30 will be for the regional championship between Lone Oak and Brooklyn. So that'll be for the 1 and the 2 seed. So a lot to play for here still. It's, as I've already mentioned, it's a pretty cool Saturday morning. A little morning baseball coming at you here. It's also very windy. In fact, a pretty good wind blowing out to right field this afternoon, almost out of the due north. And so any ball into the air to the right side, it's going to travel a little bit more than maybe we've seen for the majority of the tournament. It's going to push the baseball, a lot of those balls that maybe have been getting into foul territory, out of play, they may get pushed back in on the left side of the field. So the wind's definitely going to play a factor here this afternoon in the consolation game. We do have, as we've already mentioned, this is the final game of the day of the tournament. It's been a very well-ran tournament. Stuttgart's done a great job. Coach Price, Coach Deaton, all of the Coach Brown, Coach Moser have done a great job. The guys up here in the press box taking care of everything. Adam Fontenot has been doing a great job on the public address. Coach Robert Tate handling the pitch count. Just a really good job by everybody in Stuttgart coming together, making the 4A regional tournament go well, which is a great deal because, this is how you get more regional tournaments. You do well, you host your first one, you do a great job, everything goes smoothly, and you've got a great chance to potentially host another one. I know the Ricebirds are really hoping they're going to have an opportunity to host a regional basketball tournament next year in the brand new Ricebird Arena. But that's a few months down the road, but certainly something to keep an eye on. We've already had a pregame infield between the 2 teams, and the plate meeting between the coaches and the umpires have already taken place. So we will have a start time maybe even a little bit early. We'll see. We still got the national anthem. We still have starting lineups that are going to be announced here momentarily. And then, as we expect, it should be around 12 o'clock noon for the first pitch in this one. So while we get ready for the national anthem, out of respect for the country, we will take a break. And when we come back, we'll give you the starting lineups for the Southerners and the Ricebirds back in 3 minutes. You're listening to Ricebird Baseball on 105.5 The Duck.
At Blue Seal Petroleum, serving you is their privilege. Blue Seal extends a heartfelt thank you to their valued customers across Arkansas and surrounding counties. Your trust in Blue Seal for your fuel, tire, and service needs is truly appreciated. It's your loyalty that has fueled their commitment to excellence for over 80 years. From the entire team at Blue Seal Petroleum, thank you for choosing them. They're here for you always. When you need them, call Blue Seal in DeWitt at 870-946-2281. And for Stuttgart, call 870-673-3126.
Hi, this is Jennifer Smith from Wilkerson Jewelers. The real value in any jewelry is the sentimental connection that you have to the pieces you own. The beautiful earrings your grandparents gave you when you graduated. The amazing engagement ring your fiance surprised you with. The watch your company presented you with when you retired from your job. For over 50 years, Wilkerson's has been a part of those special moments. And we love that we get to be a small part of some of the most important experiences of your lives. No matter what your budget, come in to shop or check us out online at wilkersonjewelers.com. Easy financing and layaway are available. At Wilkerson Jewelers in beautiful downtown Stuttgart, we want to build memories with you.
Express Employment Professionals in Stuttgart has immediate openings for all job types and skill levels. Come in today to apply or go online to expresspros.com. Express is now hiring clerical, office administration, warehouse and production, equipment operators, CDL drivers, welders, machine operators, general labor, and all sorts of skilled trades. Even if you're just thinking about a new job, start your search with Express Employment Professionals at 1904 South Main in Stuttgart. Come in today or go online to expresspros.com.
Hello, this is Kyle Stovison with Ag Heritage Farm Credit Services in Stuttgart. If you're looking to purchase or refinance farm real estate, equipment, cattle, or need capital for your crop operating expenses, we finance it all and share our profits through our patronage program. At Ag Heritage, we have friendly loan officers, competitive rates, and most of all, a lender who provides you with a financing package tailor-made to fit your individual needs. Please contact Kevin Wingfield or myself, Kyle Stovison, in Stuttgart at 870-673-1558. Ag Heritage Farm Credit Services is an equal housing lender.
Baptist Health Women's Clinic Stuttgart is committed to providing quality patient care through all stages of a woman's life. We understand that different health concerns come with each new phase of a woman's life, so we provide education services, trained staff, and a board-certified OBGYN to meet every female body need. From pregnancy and childbirth to osteoporosis and gynecological exams, Baptist Health delivers the care you need to pursue a lifetime of wellness. Learn more at BaptistHealthWomen.com. Baptist Health, for you, for life.
All right, we are back as we're just about ready for first pitch in the third place game of the 4A2 regional tournament between Southside Batesville and the Stuttgart Ricebirds. A little bit of a change in the Ricebirds lineup. A few additions, moving some people around. Stuttgart will come to the plate in the top of the first inning. Leading things off will be the shortstop this afternoon, Keaton Byers. Austin Fontenot stays in the 2 spot and plays center field. J.D. Herzog third. He's going to be behind the plate today. First time we've seen J.D. behind the plate this season. Bo Barnes cleans things up, playing for third base. Dagan Duncan's on the mound this afternoon for the Ricebirds in the 5 spot. Lane Smith stays in left field, batting 6th. Peyton Thompson bats 7th. He is the designated hitter this afternoon. Cameron Rogers hits 8th and plays right. Sawyer Hillman in the lineup with Duncan on the mound. He'll be playing first base and batting 9th. Hayden Prine is playing second base defensively, so he moves from behind the plate to second base to the Keystone spot, and he will not be in the batting lineup here as he's being DH'd for by Peyton Thompson. So it'll be Byers, Fontenot, Herzog, Barnes, Duncan, Smith, Thompson, Rogers, and Hillman. Prine will be in the defensive line, but not in the batting order. The battery for the Ricebirds. Behind the plate will be the senior number 2, J.D. Herzog. On the mound will be Dagan Duncan. For the Southerners, we'll give you their defensive alignment, and we're just about ready for first pitch. Around the horn, starting at third base, will be number 17, Brady Wood. Cam Faree plays second base. Owen McLaughlin's at third. The shortstop is Jaden Passmore. Left fielders, Blaine Baxter. Center field, Zeb Anderson. Right field, Jace Hatfield. Behind the plate, Wyatt Bishop. On the mound is number 7, Devin Hightower, as he is just about ready to deliver the first pitch to leadoff Keaton Byers. And we are underway. First pitch, 11:59, and that pitch is up and in, almost hits Byers in the head, and he's ahead. No, they do say it hit him. So they say it clipped Byers maybe on that front left shoulder. Maybe it clipped a little bit of his uniform. So that's going to be a first pitch HBP to put the leadoff man on here in the top of the first. Good start for the Ricebirds. That brings Austin Fontenot to the plate, bats from the left side. Couple of lefties, and 3 lefties actually in the lineup today. With that wind blowing out to right field, that could be a factor. As Byers takes his lead at first base, being held on by Brady Wood over there. As Hightower works from the stretch here, he's a right-hander. He comes set from the chest, and the pitch to Fontenot is way outside for ball 1. That's kind of where he missed on that pitch to Byers as well, only Byers was in the right-handed batter's box, so it hit him. It was just way outside on a Fontenot. Pretty deep in right field with the wind blowing out, a little shallow in left, straight away in center. Third baseman in on the grass for the Southside. In fact, he's about 5 feet on the grass. Wondering if Fontenot may lay down the bunt. I doubt it with the first 2 pitches being so far out of the zone. As the 1-0's on the way. And there's a strike. We have the same home plate umpire that we've had this last 2 days. Talked about on Thursday, he thought he had a great zone. Yesterday, not as much. We'll see if maybe today's the sweet spot. As I'm not sure his name, but he has definitely called all 3 of the Ricebirds games behind the plate in the tournament. 1-1 count on Fontenot. Shortstop shaded towards second base as Hightower comes set. There goes Fontenot, shows bunt, and Byers, is safe at second. Fontenot pulled the bat back, took a ball, I believe. And so the count's 2-1 now. So Byers got a pretty good jump. Fontenot showed bunt, pulled it back. So it wasn't a bunt and run, but it did maybe cause the catcher to hesitate slightly, and Byers was able to slide in front of the tag. So the Rice Birds have a runner in scoring position with nobody out here in the top of the first. And Fontenot ahead in the count, 2 balls and a strike. We've got a time called here is, I guess the earpiece came undone on the back of the catcher's equipment, so they're going to have to reapply. And a little zip tie, maybe some glue. If you can't fix it with zip ties, can you fix it? Yeah, or just flash it from the dugout like, old school, like, analog days. Byers takes his lead at second. He's being held on by the shortstop. Hightower gives him a look. Now comes with the 2-1. It's outside, 3-1. Corners are in tight. They're kind of expecting the potential for a bunt from Fontenot, but Hightower's been pretty wild. I doubt Coach Brown wants to give an out up until Hightower shows he can throw strikes. Now the infield's back. As Byers takes his lead from second, here's the pitch, and Fontenot hits it over the head of the shortstop into left field. They are going to stop Byers at third, and the Rice Birds have runners at the corners and nobody out. Good decision there by Coach Brown. Don't want to make the first out of the inning at home, as Rice Birds are cooking here with J.D. Herzog at the plate, runners at the corners. Fontenot went with that outside fastball, drove it over out of the reach of the shortstop into left field. And he stands at first base with a single. So a good start for the Rice Birds here in the first. Brown will show the signs here. We'll see if he starts the runner. Runners at the corners. His best hitter at the plate in J.D. Herzog. Hightower having to work around first inning traffic. Gives a look to Byers at third. Now peeks at Fontenot. Here's the pitch to Herzog, and it's a curveball that catches the plate for strike one. That was a good one. First curveball we've seen from Hightower today. I don't know what smells good here, but man, I don't know if it's sausages, hot dogs, something smells amazing in this place. Is it Coach Tate? Did he bring food up here? It's Coach Tate. He brought a whole supper up here. He's got a whole barbecue plate at 12 o'clock. Where's that at? Paul must be smoking down there or something. The runners at the corners take the lead. Here comes the 0-1 to Herzog. As Hightower takes an extra beat, now he's ready. There goes the runner, pitches outside, throw is cut off, and Stuttgart has 2 on in scoring position with nobody out. So Byers never even flinched like he was going to go once the catcher released the baseball. It was cut off by Hightower, so Stuttgart certainly in the catbird seat here in the top of the first inning. Second and third, nobody out. Herzog with a 1-1 count. Got to score one here, need to score both. And Herzog hits it to the right side. Second baseman Fields, that's going to score a run, so sacrifice 4-3 on the putout. And Fontenot advances to third. So that's how you draw it up, hit behind the runners, and the Rice Birds lead it 1-0 with Bo Barnes coming to the plate. That is definitely how you draw it up. Put it in play, hit it to the right side, and Austin Fontenot stands 90 feet away with less than 2 outs. First pitch to Barnes is swung and hit in the air, center field, hit pretty well. The center fielder tracks back, and it's off his glove. It's going to go to the wall. Fontenot scores. Barnes is going to round second. He's going to go into third with an RBI double, E8 for the triple. Well, we might say it's an E8 all the way. I'm going to say that we're going to be a hometown scores. We're going to give that a triple to Barnes. What do you say? Let's give it a triple. I say it's a triple. We can't assume the play was going to be made, and they did. They called it a hit, so we're going to call it a RBI triple. Bo Barnes, Rice Birds lead it 2-0 as that ball got up in the jet stream and just kept carrying away from the Southside center fielder, and it hit off his glove and ended up rolling up against the right center field wall. Now Dagan Duncan bats with a man 90 feet away, still less than 2 outs. And, boy, if Dagan could get into one and get it up in that wind, he could hit it a long way and keep adding to the Rice Birds' 2-0 lead. Hightower's pitch to Duncan. He swings and misses. That one was down and away. Duncan hasn't really looked comfortable at the plate this entire tournament. That's the second big swing of the tournament for Bo Barnes, however. He hit one that cleared the bases in game one down the left field line. That one drove in Fontenot going the other way. So good hitting from the third baseman. Here's the next one to Duncan, and that's another swing and a miss and a pitch down and away for strike 2. So Dagan behind in the count. Just need to make contact here. Takes a ball outside. Just about anything to the right side, something to the air. Will probably score Barnes from third. On deck for the Rice Birds is Lane Smith. He's had a good tournament as well. As Hightower delivers the 2-2 to Dagan Duncan, and then, boy, he just stayed away from him, and Duncan missed it all 3 times, and he'll go down on strikes for the second out of the inning. I think the book is out on Dagan Duncan here in this conference. Stay away from the lefty. And Lane Smith will have to get a 2-out base hit to score Barnes from third. First one from Hightower is on the way. Inside, ball 1. A lot of room in left center field for Smith as Hightower comes with the next one, and that's a strike on the corner. Here's the next one to Lane. That one's a good pitcher's pitch, catches the outer half, and Smith's behind in the count 1-2 now. Hate to strand any runners as Barnes is standing at third. See if Smith can come through with a 1-2. Outside, 2-2. Next one from Hightower. He's working from the windup now. Smith takes one outside, ball 3. Pretty good take there. And it counts 3-2 now with Peyton Thompson on deck. So Hightower has to come with a strike to Lane Smith. Here's the 3-2. So he called it a called strike 3. He said it caught the inner half, and that's going to be a strikeout of Smith. So 2 runs cross in the inning. Rice Birds lead at 2-0. They strand Bo Barnes at third. We head to the bottom of the first. Stuttgart leading 2-0. Back in 90 seconds. You're listening to Rice Bird Baseball on 105.5 The Duck.
Do you know how much life insurance your partner has? What company is it with? Do you have life insurance? Is it through your employer only, or do you have a policy that you own? This is Holly Brothers, and as a life insurance agent, it is my responsibility to discuss the types of coverage available to you and put a plan in place for when your employer no longer provides coverage. Life insurance costs more as we age, so don't wait to apply. Let's lock in your rate today and save. Give Keith or myself a call at Connection Insurance, 870-673-9249.
Tohatsu Outboard offers 4-stroke motors from 2.5 to 250 horsepower, and all with a 5-year warranty. Built with their one-of-a-kind direct injection technology, Tohatsu has revolutionized environmental performance, uncompromising their pursuit of durable and lightweight outboard motors. And with interest rates as low as 4.99% financing, now is the time to get a new Tohatsu motor from Max Prairie Wings in Stuttgart. Call Max Prairie Wings in Stuttgart or click on maxbw.com. Great service and competitive prices. Max Prairie Wings in Stuttgart. The hunt begins here.
Are you tired of unreliable internet service? Do you constantly run over your data plan? Are you having trouble getting internet service where you live? With TechStream high-speed internet, you'll get consistent high speeds and low latency that doesn't stop at city limits. TechStream high-speed internet is perfect for homes, small and large businesses, farmers, and hunting clubs. You'll be able to stream, game, and surf with no interruptions. Servicing Arkansas, Lone Oak, Prairie, Jefferson, and Lincoln counties. TechStream is your locally owned and operated high-speed internet solution. Call toll-free 866-268-0101 or visit techstream.net.
All right, we're back for the bottom of the first inning. Dagan Duncan is the pitcher this afternoon. He threw 31 pitches on Thursday, so not sure how far he'll be able to go, but he is going to get the start. And, boy, after Dagan, it's really a question of who next. Caden Scaife not in the lineup. He dealing with a hip injury that he probably aggravated yesterday on a fly ball to right field. J.D. Herzog not available. We also have seen Axton McCray. He's done for the weekend. He started yesterday. We think maybe Hayden Prine could be the second option, as he's not behind the plate but playing second base. So possibility exists he would be the first man out of the bullpen for the Birds. Maybe Bo Barnes. But, man, it's really, Keaton Byers dealing with injury. He would normally be an option. So we'll see. But as it is, it's going to be the Southerners' top of the lineup. Devin Hightower, Cam Faree, Jaden Passmore. If anyone reaches, Brady Wood against the left-handed Dagan Duncan. First pitch on the way, and he shows bunt, pulls back, takes a ball. Defensively around the horn, Sawyer Hillman plays first base. It's going to be Hayden Prine at second. Third baseman's Bo Barnes. Shortstop, Keaton Byers. Lane Smith plays left. Austin Fontenot's in center. Cameron Rogers is in right. J.D. Herzog behind the plate as the 1-0 is swung on, tapped foul. It actually kind of ricocheted off the helmet of Herzog. So 1-1. I'm going to try to get the updated regional state tournament situation during the breaks. Also, what's going on in the potential matchups for the Rice Birds next week. As that ball's hit pretty well, left center field gap. Smith comes over, goes back, makes the catch. A nice play. Smith makes a play that makes it look routine, and there's one out here in the bottom of the first. Hightower hit it pretty well. But it hung up, kind of got pushed a little bit toward that gap with the wind blowing here from the north. Cam Faree, the second baseman, bats now. And the first pitch he sees is, well, it must have missed down because it definitely was center of the plate. Here's the next one. Foul to the backstop, 1-1. Talking to Coach Dawson Moser earlier today, and he was kind of talking about his two starters. J.D., he said, we've got a pretty good mix. You got a righty, a lefty. J.D. throws a little bit harder than Dagan, but Dagan's ball has a lot of movement to it. And he said it's kind of a good 1-2 punch as that curveball's hit to the right side. That's a good piece of hitting into right field. Rogers thought about trying to throw to first, but I don't know that Hillman was ready for it. Probably wouldn't have gotten the out, but, boy, that would have been something. But that was a good piece of hitting on a decent curveball from Duncan. So a one-out hit for Foree puts a man on for Passmore. Passmore's the shortstop. He bats from the right side. As Duncan checks on Faree. Now the pitch to Passmore is upstairs. And, boy, Dagan really, Stuttgart needs Duncan to be efficient with a pitch count. As, again, we don't expect him, he's not necessarily on a pitch count, but they're not going to push him either, throwing 31 on on Thursday. Here's the 1-0. That one catches the corner. One pitch upcoming. They check on the runner. Foree kind of took an extra step once Duncan came set. Here's the next one to him, and that one catches the corner. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Here's the next one. Curveball, tap to the third baseman, Barnes. He goes to second to get the lead runner. Nice play by Bo Barnes to get the lead runner. Fielder's choice for Passmore.
Now batting for Southside number 17, Brady Wood.
That brings Brady Wood to the plate, the first baseman, with 2 outs and a man at first. Curveball just misses. Here's the next one. That's a strike. 1-1. Here's the next one. It is a swing and a miss at a ball in the dirt. Nice job, Herzog, to keep it in front. And Dagan's ahead in the count. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Man at first. Bottom of the first inning. Stuttgart leads it 2-0. And there's a swing and a miss. There goes the runner. Throw is into center field, and they're going to try to, nope, they're going to keep him at second. Didn't matter, though, because that was strike 3. And that'll do it for Southside here in the first inning. They get one on. They leave him stranded. We head to the top of the second. Stuttgart leading 2-0. Back in 90 seconds. You're listening to Ricebird Baseball on 105.5 The Duck.
At Farmers and Merchants Bank, we're not just a bank, we're a part of your community. That's why we're dedicated to being the neighbors who are in your corner right here in Arkansas. Whether you're saving for a new home, planning for your future, or managing your everyday finances, Farmers and Merchants Bank has the friendly local knowledge and personalized services to help you reach your goals. Farmers and Merchants Bank, in your corner, supporting the community we all call home. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
At Blue Seal Petroleum, serving you is their privilege. Blue Seal extends a heartfelt thank you to their valued customers across Arkansas and surrounding counties. Your trust in Blue Seal for your fuel, tire, and service needs is truly appreciated. It's your loyalty that has fueled their commitment to excellence for over 80 years. From the entire team at Blue Seal Petroleum, thank you for choosing them. They're here for you always. When you need them, call Blue Seal in DeWitt at 870-946-2281. And for Stuttgart, call 870-673-3126.
Freemeyer's Best Brands Plus has been supporting Ricebirds athletics for 46 years in Stuttgart. We're honored to be a part of the Ricebird tradition. Freemeyer's has joined with some of the best brands in America, including Whirlpool, Maytag, KitchenAid, Lazy Boy, and Sealy, to be able to supply our customers with the best values. Now Freemeyer's has gone a step further with guaranteed price matching. If you need home furnishings, make sure you check with Freemeyer's, 201 South Main in downtown Stuttgart. Best brands, best prices, best people.
Peyton Thompson leads things off for the Ricebirds here in the top of the second inning. The Birds leading at 2-0. Just looked at the state tournament situation. If Stuttgart is the 3 seed from the 2 regional, we'll play at 12:30 on Thursday next week. If we're the 4 seed, we'll play at 10 o'clock a.m. And either way, we're going to play either Morrilton or Robinson in the first round. First pitch to Peyton is a strike. Morrilton and Robinson play one another this afternoon at 2:30 in the 4A3 regional championship. Curveball hit to the right side, out of play. The consolation game going on right now in the 4A3 is between Harding Academy and Central Arkansas Christian. So Harding Academy actually is a favorite in Class 4A this year. So a little bit of an upset in the semifinals yesterday. Here's the 0-2 curveball, swing and a miss. That was a good pitch. That one had quite a bit of right to left break on it, and Thompson is down on strikes, bringing Cameron Rogers to the plate. Cameron hadn't swung the bat as well in this tournament. He's played very well in the field. Stuttgart's caught it pretty good this weekend. See if Cam can get things started here. From the left side, first pitch from Hightower is a bender that kind of comes over the back door, and it's 0-1. Not a bad crowd from Southside on an early, cool Saturday morning, but not near the crowd we had yesterday as Rogers taps that one foul to the backstop. Here is the next one. Rogers hits it the other way into left field. Good piece of hitting there by Rogers, and Ricebirds have a one-out base runner. Stuttgart's kind of been inside out a few times today. That's the third opposite field smack that we've seen. Brings Sawyer Hillman to the plate. Hillman, we've seen for just one defensive inning today, or this weekend, I should say. So this is his first at bat of the regional, and he bats with one out and a runner at first. Top of the order's on deck. That pitch is outside. They throw behind the runner almost into right field. Nice job by Southside's Brady Wood to come off the bag to make the play. Rogers didn't have the biggest secondary lead ever, but a little more than Wyatt Bishop was comfortable with, apparently. Third baseman's in on the grass. They hold Rogers on. He's got a small lead. Here's the 1-0 from Hightower to Hillman. There goes the runner, shows bunt, pulls it back, and it gets through the catcher's mitt, and that's going to be a pass ball, I should say, for Cameron Rogers. So Southside kicking it around a little bit here in the early innings. Hillman pulled his bat back, took the ball high 2-0. That would have been a really good pitch for the catcher to be able to throw out Rogers, although Cam had a pretty good jump. Wasn't a big lead, but it was a good jump. So the Ricebirds have something cooking here in the top of the second. Base hit could add a run here. Hillman with a 2-0. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. That was a nice rip on a 2-0. And it's now 2-1. So again, Stuttgart plays next Thursday at either 10 a.m. or 12:30, depending on if we win or lose today. The opponents will either be Morrilton or Joe T. Robinson. Here's the 2-1 to Sawyer in the dirt, 3-1. Top of the order looming, that's Keaton Byers. As Cameron Rogers stands at second. Got a small lead. Now the 3-1, and that's a swing and a miss, and the count's full. Brooklyn usually does. I'm surprised they didn't bring anybody. Here's the 3-2 delivery to Hillman. He checks on the runner at second. That's Rogers. Little extra time from Hightower. Now he's ready. Here it is. Strike three called. That is a strikeout of Hillman. So 2 gone now as Keaton Byers comes to the plate. Keaton led the game off. The first pitch he saw, it clipped him on the must have. We've had a substitution here. Keaton Wright, apparently. No, it's Keaton Byers. I'm sorry. So Byers scored the first run of the game, and he needs to get a base hit to keep the Ricebirds from stranding their second runner today. That's outside. Gets past the catcher. Rogers is going to move up to third, and the throw goes into left field. We might have a play at the plate. The throw is not in time, and the Ricebirds lead it 3-0 as Southside continues to boot it around. Southside has booted it around here in the early innings, and the Birds lead it 3-0 as the pitch was off the catcher's mitt, just got out of the dirt. Rogers moved up to third, and then the throw down to third, got into left field. Rogers was able to cross, and Stuttgart with the 3-run lead now, and Southside's coach is animated on the mound right now. He is very, very, very disappointed with his defensive effort here in the first couple of innings. The Ricebirds, they've put it in play. They have definitely put pressure on Southside, but the Southerners have had opportunities to make plays that would have ended innings and certainly would have kept runs off the scoreboard, and they just haven't done it so far. It has not been Stuttgart, or it's not been Southside making the plays. It's been the Birds so far. And so that was not a strategic meeting. That wasn't anything about situations or X's and O's. That was a motivational conference from a head coach. Of course, the head coach for Southside is Adam Winter. And it might have felt like Winter out there on that mound just a moment ago. So Keaton Byers bats with a 1-0 count, bases empty, 2 outs. As Hightower will work from the windup now. Here's the pitch to Byers, curveball, strike. After Cameron with the 1-out single to left field, then it was a pass ball, E2. So the catcher has not had a great top of the second. Here's the 1-1. Check swing. They're going to appeal it. They say that Keaton did not go around, so it's 2-1. Ball was down. Next one from Hightower. In the dirt, 3-1. Day 3 of a tournament, you typically are down to your sometimes third, fourth pitcher. Hightower's got a good curveball, but he has struggled to locate the fastball. 3-1's grounded to the third baseman. Third baseman Fields throws across, and in time, it was bang, bang, but first base umpire said he got him by a step, and that'll do it for the Ricebirds here in the second. They do score 1. They lead it 3-0 as we head to the bottom of the second inning. You're listening to Ricebird Baseball on 105.5. The Duck back in 90 seconds.
Are you tired of leaking on yourself? Tired of those embarrassing moments? Do you have chronic sciatica? Low back pain? Are you experiencing painful intercourse, hemorrhoids? Maybe you're dealing with erectile dysfunction. Would you like to improve your balance? And oh, the incontinence. Did you know that all of that can be resolved in as little as 3 weeks? That's right, only 28 minutes twice a week for 3 weeks. Most people notice a difference after their second session. The Encella by BTL is so easy to use. You stay fully clothed. It's totally non-invasive. And there is 95% patient satisfaction. This is a breakthrough for incontinence and ED, and we here at the Katie Shack have made all of this relief possible for you. So why put up with those symptoms, especially now that you know that there is a cure? We have special financing available, and we have amazing affordable packaging deals. This is FDA approved and proven. Please call us at 870-873-4300 and let us help you on this journey to a better, healthier way of life.
The quality of Pearson Company in Stuttgart has been established across the Grand Prairie for over 30 years. Pearson Company specializes in construction, repair, and maintenance of steel buildings and will custom design your building to your specifications. Our steel buildings are known for their agricultural, industrial, commercial, and recreational uses. When you're planning a new building of any kind, let Pearson Company give you more building for your money. Mickey says when you know who we are, you won't build any other way.
Bottom of the second inning, David Duncan back on the mound for his second inning of work. It will be 5, 6, and 7 in the Southside lineup. Owen McLaughlin, Wyatt Bishop, Blaine Baxter. Duncan's offense has given him a 3-run lead on 3 hits. Helped out a little bit by an error and a couple of pass balls by the Southerners. As I'm going to pull up the some of the regionals in Class 4A from around the state to just kind of give you a regional update. The 4A1 regional is being hosted by Gravette. That's in northwest Arkansas. It looks like Shiloh Christian plays Gravette in the regional championship, while Pea Ridge and Gentry are playing in the consolation game right now. And we've already told you the 4A3, it's Robinson and Morrilton in the regional final, CAC and Pulaski Academy, or excuse me, Harding Academy in the third place game. First pitch on the way from Duncan to McLaughlin. He shows bunt, gets it down. It's going to be Duncan that fields it, and his throw is not in time. So that was a pretty good bunt there from McLaughlin. He will beat out the bunt single for the leadoff base runner. In the 4A4, that's being hosted by DeQueen. Arkadelphia and Magnolia. That would have been the regional we were in last year, in fact. Arkadelphia and Magnolia in the regional final. And Warren and Nashville in the consolation game. Big lead from McLaughlin at first. Pitch. I guess it was up, so that's going to be a ball high, 1-0. Southside put one on a board in the first, and it was stranded. Now they've got a runner on first and nobody out here in the second. That's a strike on the corner. Bo Barnes in on the grass, guarding against a bunt here. Curveball misses up. 2-1. Two-one delivery upcoming. Checks on the runner. They got him picked off. Throw to second. Tag's not in time. Had him picked off. He went on first move. The throw to second was a tick up, and Byers couldn't get it down in time, and McLaughlin was able to slide under it. I kind of jumped the gun a little bit before he called him safe, but it sure looked like he got under it. Would have been okay to be wrong, but that's going to be a man at second and nobody out now, as McLaughlin is in scoring position for Bishop, who has a 2-1 count. Pitch was in the dirt. Herzog smothered it, and it's 3-1 now. Next pitch is upcoming as Duncan comes set. Swing and a miss. Full count now. Here's the 3-2 upcoming now to Bishop. Strike three called, and that's the first out of the inning. Froze Bishop with a fastball. He goes down for the first out. That brings the left fielder Blaine Baxter to the plate. He'll bat on the left side as McLaughlin has to stay at second. Hayden Prine is kind of in charge of holding the runner at second. I don't think they're comfortable with the way they're holding McLaughlin on there. Byers and Prine are kind of communicating with one another. Dagan stepped off as McLaughlin has a decent lead back there. Now he gets a step closer. Comes set. Shows bunt. Oh, and it got past the catcher and then bounced all the way back to Dagan Duncan halfway to the mound. So it hit the concrete. It was a strike called. Oh, did he say foul ball? Now our base ump's going to come in and ask if it was a foul ball. Now, let's see. Coach Brown wants to know as well. If it had been a foul ball, then, of course, McLaughlin would go back to second. But Herzog really didn't respond as if it was a foul ball. And I think they're going to allow McLaughlin to stay at third base. So it was a strike. 0-1 count, and Southside has a base runner 90 feet away with less than two. So Baxter will try to drive him in. Duncan could use a strikeout here. Here's the pitch. Didn't miss by much. 1-1. Stuttgart brings the corners in. Prine's actually playing pretty shallow at second. Next one, swing, and he just kind of chased a high fastball, and he poked it foul to the dugout of Southside. He definitely expanded there. And he's behind in the count 1-2 now. So it is the bottom of the order for Southside, so that is hopefully a good thing. Duncan tried to pound him in with a fastball, missed low, and the count's 2-2 now. A lot of room in left center field as Fontenot is shaded quite a bit to right center. Smith's playing pretty well straight away and left. Here's the 2-2. Curveball, swing and a miss, had him way out in front. That's the second out. That off speed had Baxter way out in front. And Duncan has 2 gone with the center fielder Zeb Anderson coming to the plate, another lefty in the Southside lineup. So lefty on lefty matchup here. We'll see if Southside tries to get a little squirrely down there at third now with 2 outs in the bottom of the order. McLaughlin takes a lead. Pitch is outside. Nice job by Herzog to glove it. Jace Hatfield, the right fielder, is on deck, so he's another lefty. Here's the pitch. That's a strike. Southside lineup is full of southpaws, which is a good thing to have a southpaw on the bump. Duncan trying to work around a little traffic here. 1-1, curveball, strike. And Dagan's ahead 1-2. This big pitch coming. Dagan shakes him off. That normally means the curveball's on the way. We'll see. He comes set. Here it is. Fastball just off the corner, and it's 2-2. I was wrong. He tried to sneak a fastball past him. He hit his spot, but it was a tick off the black. Now he's working pretty quick here as the 2-2 comes. Swing and a miss. He's going to have to throw down to first to complete the out. They do, and that'll do it for Southside in the second. Dagan worked around a leadoff base runner, and he got all the way to third with less than 2 outs. Ricebirds head to the top of the third inning, leading at 3-0. Back in 90 seconds, you're listening to Ricebird Baseball on the EAB Radio Network.
Hi, it's Kim Buffet. Did you know that Coker Hampton Drug Company and Gift Shop, serving downtown Stuttgart for nearly 100 years, is more than just a store? We're deeply committed to our community, supporting schools, youth sports, churches, and other organizations year-round. When you choose Coker Hampton, you're not just making a purchase, you're supporting a legacy of community care. Your support at 218 South Main in downtown Stuttgart strengthens the bond we have with our community. Thank you for making a difference with Coker Hampton Drug Company and Gift Shop.
Whether you've got 100 acres to mow or just some brush out back, show Brush who's boss. Wood's line of rotary cutters match a variety of tractors and applications, so you can start clearing tall grass or tough brush right away. With high lift blades and deeper decks for a better overall cut quality, you won't find any other rotary cutters that keep your land in line like Wood's. Stop in to Prairie Implement Company in Stuttgart to find the right Wood's rotary cutter for your next job.
A generator is one of those things you never think about until you really need it. Luckily, Durden's in Stuttgart is your local authorized Generac dealer, and that means we can sell, install, and provide warranty service on your generator. And that's a big deal because a generator is a big investment, and you're depending on it to work properly when you need it. Call us today at 673-1356 to learn more about home backup options, portable generators, and even commercial options for your business. And let's save the candlelight dinners just for date night.
Durden's in Stuttgart. Guaranteed comfort since 1960.
Hightower back on the mound for Southside for the third inning. It will be Austin Fontenot, J.D. Herzog, Bo Barnes, Dagan Duncan bats if anyone reaches. Birds lead it 3-0, top of the third inning. Third place game here in the 4A2 regional tournament from the Ricebird Athletic Complex. Winner moves on to play either Morrilton or Robinson at 12:30 on Thursday, the 15th of May. Loser will play the loser of Morrilton and Robinson at 10 a.m. on May 15th. Those games being played at Monticello. Thursday games played at either Monticello High School or the University of Arkansas at Monticello. The rest of the tournament will be at UAM. Of course, the championship games in Class 4A at UCA this year. As Fontenot swings and misses at the first pitch. I think UCA's hosted them last several years, if I remember. I think Benton might have hosted them once or twice since they've moved it from Fayetteville. Here's the next one. Fontenot fouls it off out of play. And it's 0-2 now. All of the championship games, I should say, are being hosted at UCA. That's a couple of weeks away, though. Here's the 0-2. That one missed everything and went to the backstop. The catcher couldn't have. He would have had to have go-go gadget arms to be able to catch that one. No balls and one ball and two strikes after that pitch. As Fontenot is in that left-handed batter's box. Hightower delivers curveball outside 2-2. Austin's a tough out. He works pitchers. He gets on base pretty good. Top of that order. Swing and a miss, and that'll be the first down of the inning as Fontenot goes down swinging. And that brings J.D. Herzog to the plate. That was a pretty good pitch. Pitcher's pitch from Hightower, down and away. He had to swing at it because it would have been a strike called, but, boy, that's just a really hard pitch to hit. Great pitch placement by Hightower. That ball was tailing away from him, down and away. Kind of looked like a straight change. As Herzog bats, first pitch he sees, he takes at the belt. JD thought it was a little up. He's asking if it was a tick up. I think the home plate umpire said that's the top of the zone, son. So he'll dig back in for the 0-1 from Hightower. Outside, that one goes to the backstop, and there's been quite a few go to the backstop. Stuttgart's on deck batters have gotten a little workout chasing it back there. Here's the 1-1. Swinging a pop-up down the right side. That one's going to stay in play, and the first baseman will make the catch. As JD's very frustrated with himself with that one, as that was not the 1-1 cut he was looking for. So that's a P3 on the second out of the inning. Brings Bo Barnes to the plate. Barnes had the big swing in the first, a bases-clearing triple to the right center field gap. Scored a couple. He bats with 2 outs and the base is empty. First pitch is over the plate for strike 1. Here's the next one to the Ricebird third baseman. That's same spot, same result. No balls, 2 strikes on Bo now. That one might have been a tick more on the outside edge of the plate, but it was still caught the white. Oh-2. Swing and a miss at 3 at the same spot. Catcher dropped it. He'll have to throw to first to complete the out. He does, and Ricebirds go 3 up, 3 down in the third. So no runs, no hits, no one left on base. We head to the bottom of the third inning. Stuttgart leading at 3-0. Back in 90 seconds, you're listening to Ricebird Baseball on 105.5 The Duck.
There's a place to go in South Arkansas County for both your household and farm supplies. Visit U.S. Irrigation Distributors DeWitt location and see Brian for hardware, parts, tools, and household items, plus all your farm needs from levee gates to steel, PVC, and polypipe, Dan's boots with chaps, muck boots, and Twisted X footwear, with new items arriving weekly. For farm and home, see Brian at U.S. Irrigation Distributors DeWitt location at 550 Highway 165 North, or give him a call at 946-4116.
Spring is right around the corner. Get your lawn and flower beds ready with House Nursery and Landscaping. Whether you need beds cleaned out, fresh mulch, new landscaping, or custom flower beds, Michael Lehman and his team have you covered. Upgrade with new metal trim, rich soil, and expert lawn treatments to keep your yard looking its best. Call Michael Lehman at 870-659-0662 or the House Nursery office at 870-830-0606 to schedule your spring makeover today. Located on Highway 79 toward Umphrey, because a beautiful yard starts here.
At Farmers and Merchants Bank, we know buying a home is more than a transaction. It's a milestone. That's why we're in your corner with mortgage solutions that fit your life. For first-time home buyers to seasoned homeowners, our friendly local mortgage experts at Farmers and Merchants Bank provide personalized guidance and competitive rates, making the path to your new home easier. Farmers and Merchants Bank, In your corner, turning houses into homes. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Bottom of the order, leading things off for the Southerners, Jace Hatfield, the right fielder, then the top at Hightower and Forey. Dagan Duncan back on the mound. He's at 31 pitches through 2 innings. Not sure what his pitch count is. He threw 31 on Thursday, so he is at 62 pitches so far for the tournament. But they're gonna probably go with Dagan as far as they can safely. They would love to get into the 5th. If they could get into the 5th, they would consider it a huge win. But certainly, if Dagan can get them through the 4th. But we'll see. Still a lot of baseball to play. You never know. He may get a 3-pitch inning right here, the immaculate, or a 9-pitch inning, maybe an immaculate 9-pitch inning. Hatfield leading it off, his first at bat. Then the top of the order. Duncan has 4 strikeouts here this afternoon through 2 innings. And he has looked pretty good out there. Lefty on lefty matchup. First one is on the way, and it's fouled off to the left side. Here's the 0-1. Upstairs, 1-1. Bo Barnes in on the grass at third. He's creeping in, thinking about the possibility of a bunt. Everyone else is pretty well straight away. Rogers maybe a little tight on the line at right, but that wind's going to do some crazy things to it. Now there's your bunt. It's bunted right at Barnes. He gets a candy hop, throws across to Hillman for the first out. Good way to start the inning. That was a candy hop 5-3 put out, as Barnes was kind of thinking that the bunt might happen, and he was right. That brings it back to the top and Devin Hightower. Hightower has had really the best contact against Duncan today. He led it off with a line out to left field, and he bats with 1 out and the base is empty. That one's outside. One ball and no strikes. Cam Faree on deck. Curveball hit on the ground to Barnes. It is foul, just foul. Just foul. It actually, the last bounce looked like it bounced on the, paint, but it must have been fielded just in foul territory. It was close, but the home plate umpire immediately threw his hands up, so it's a 1-1 count on Hightower. Coach Randy Deaton comes back into the Randy Deaton press box. Got his Cardinals hat on. Cardinals won a game on the road yesterday. That was unusual. That pitch misses off. 2 balls and a strike. That one didn't miss by much. Yeah, it's unusual to see the Cardinals win away from Busch Stadium this year. We're 1 game above 500, though. 20-19. Here's the 2-1. Hit in the air to the right side, foul. Well, Rogers covered a lot of ground there. Coach Deaton handed me there's the state tournament bracket in 4A. So, as we said, Stuttgart, if they are the winners, play at 12:30. Lose, they'll play at 10 on Thursday. If they win, they'll play the loser of Robinson-Morrilton. If they lose, they play the winner of Robinson and Morrilton there in Monticello. Always fun. Tournament time, regional time, state time, best part of the year. Next one to Hightower, swing and a miss, and that'll do it for the pitcher here, second out of the third. Nice job, Dagan Duncan. Ricebirds throw it around the infield. No boots, no problems there. Look good. Ricebirds look like they are the more comfortable team with the 12 o'clock start so far. Not a shock, though. Southside, they probably had to get on the bus. They were probably here at 11. I think I saw their bus go by at about 11. First pitch to 4E is a ball, meaning it's a solid 2-hour drive. So if they wanted to get here at 11, they definitely left by 9, probably a tick earlier. Yes, that's what it was. 1-1 count on the batter. Here's the pitch from Dunk, and that one just misses down. I think it might have caught the corner, but it was a little bit below the kneecaps. 2 balls and a strike now on the Southerners' second baseman, Cam Foree. He hit into a fielder's choice earlier today. Curveball right at Keaton Byers. Nice job on the short hop. Fields fires. Dig it out. Sawyer Hillman, dig it out. 3 gone, and that'll do it for the Southerners here in the bottom of the 3rd inning. No runs, no hits, no one left on base. Riceburg's defense looks good so far. They lead it 3-0. Back in 90 seconds for the top of the 4th. You're listening to Riceburg Baseball on the EAB Sports Radio Network.
Like you, Stedman's Ace Hardware is passionate about their community. They support the Lions Club, Fight Like a Kid, and numerous other organizations, including youth, high school, and adult sports programs. Whether helping their neighbors or helping their customers, Stedman's Ace Hardware truly is a helpful place. Shop Weber Grills, Blackstone Griddles, Traeger Pellet Grills and Pellets, and more, and get all the help you need at Stedman's Ace Hardware, 110 South College in downtown Stuttgart. Stedman's Ace Hardware, the helpful place.
At Southern Bancorp, we believe in a style of banking that's more than one size fits all. We think it should be personalized to your needs, no matter your zip code or financial position. Whether you need help with credit building or saving, small business support or home ownership, flexible lending, or even free tax prep, there's a path to opportunity for everyone at Southern Bancorp. We believe in your future, and we want to help you get there. Visit banksouthern.com today. Southern Bancorp, wealth builders for everyone. Member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Express Employment Professionals in Stuttgart has immediate openings for all job types and skill levels. Come in today to apply or go online to expresspros.com. Express is now hiring clerical, office administration, warehouse and production, equipment operators, CDL drivers, welders, machine operators, general labor, and all sorts of skilled trades. Even if you're just thinking about a new job, start your search with Express Employment Professionals at 1904 South Main in Stuttgart. Come in today or go online to expresspros.com.
That one's in the right center field gap, but right at the right fielder, but he got turned around. He goes against the wall. Duncan rounds first. He'll cruise into second. They're going to try to turn it into 3. The big man's going to go head first, and the Ricebirds have a leadoff triple. Duncan got one on the inner half. He knew what to do with it. The Southside right fielder got turned around badly, and it turned into a leadoff triple, and Coach Brown pounds him on the chest as he is very happy with his pitcher. We're going to have a courtesy runner for Dagan. Logan Relaford is the base runner, and that is what Dagan needed. We thought he was due, and he got one up and in, and he took it a long way into right center field. I thought the right fielder was easily going to make the play, but he got turned around. That ball tailed on him. Wind pushed it just a bit back toward the line, and that resulted in a triple. Now Smith hits just a little bleeder to the shortstop. That's not going to get the job done, and there's one out. That one's not near deep enough to allow Relaford to tag at third. Can't strand that runner at third. Leadoff triples must score. That's a pop-up to the shortstop. First inning, Peyton Thompson bats. He struck out his first time against Hightower in the second, as the right-hander works from the windup with a man at third. Here's the pitch to Thompson. Ground ball right side. That's going to score a run. And the Ricebirds lead it 4-0 on a sacrifice 4-3 by Peyton Thompson. Good baseball by the Birds so far in this one. They're doing everything just about right. And that will clear the bases for Cameron Rogers. Rice Birds 4-0. Bases empty, 2 gone. Top of the 4th inning. Here's the pitch as just off the plate. It felt like Logan didn't think he was ever going to get started over there. I thought he would have been crossing the plate by the time the second baseman fielded the ball. I don't know if he tripped or just kind of hesitated, not sure. Here's the pitch to Rogers, inside, swinging a miss, and well, Cam was thinking pine trees with that swing. Next one on the way. That was a nice bender, caught the inner half. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Rogers will have to battle with 2 strikes now. Here's the next one. Swing and a miss, and they're going to have to throw to first to complete the out, and they will. Rice Birds go down, but they do push one across. They lead it 4-0 as we head to the bottom of the 4th inning. Back in 90 seconds, you're listening to Rice Bird Baseball on the EAB Sports Radio Network.
Tohatsu Outboard offers 4-stroke motors from 2.5 to 250 horsepower, and all with a 5-year warranty. Built with their one-of-a-kind direct injection technology, Tohatsu has revolutionized environmental performance, uncompromising their pursuit of durable and lightweight outboard motors. And with interest rates as low as 4.99% financing, now is the time to get a new Tohatsu motor from Max Prairie Wings in Stuttgart. Call Max Prairie Wings in Stuttgart or click on maxbw.com. Great service and competitive prices. Max Prairie Wings in Stuttgart. The hunt begins here.
Monthly club meetings at the French Team in Stuttgart provide education and inspiration for sewing, embroidery, and silhouette digital cutting. If you're interested in joining these small groups, call the French Team today at 870-673-8156. There is no fee to join, but registration is required for both Bernina Club and Creative Club. Call today for this month's schedule. Call 673-8156 for the French Team, 2015 South Berkel in Stuttgart, FrenchTeam.com, and French Team Stuttgart on Facebook.
Did you know that since 1907, Lane's been providing water services to cities, industries, and farmers, not just in the Grand Prairie area, but all across the state. Lane provides pump sales and installation, constructs and designs water wells, and installs underground pipes. Lane also has an in-house machine shop, which is prepared to service and repair all brands and sizes of pumps, gear drives, and motors, along with the complete parts department open to the public. For all your water needs, contact Lane first at 2015 South Main in Stuttgart, or call 870-673-1591.
Bottom of the 4th inning, Dagan Duncan back on the mound. I'm not sure where he's at pitch count total. He's probably in the 40s. 42. Coach Tate stepping up with all the much-needed information that the people need to know. 42 pitches for Duncan, so he's on track to certainly get through the 4th, maybe even get out on the mound for the 5th. Rice Birds lead it 4-0. Southside will send 3-4-5 to the plate. Passmore, Wood, McLaughlin, then Bishop. And don't run on J.D. Herzog. That was a peel down to second base. Holy smokes. So Passmore will dig in to start things off here in the bottom of the 4th inning. So far, the Rice Birds have done the little things right. They've moved runners up. They've hit behind runners, sacrificed flies. They've made, pretty tough plays, look routine. And Southside hasn't, and that's been the difference in the game so far through 3.5. Curveball, that's a good one, strike 1. Kind of a slow bender that caught the outer half for an 0-1 count on the Southside shortstop, Jaden Passmore. And we're going to have just a all screwed up here as Duncan started into his windup. The Southside batter was asking for time, and then Duncan was just about ready to kick. He was kicking and firing as the home plate umpire stepped out from behind the box. That happened a few times yesterday, if I remember correctly. Here's the 0-1. Too bad it was not allowed to happen because that was a center-cut fastball that would have been strike 2. Now it's 1-1. Bo Barnes in on the grass. Southside has shown that they don't mind putting it on the ground with the bunt. I don't think they're going to bunt their 3-hole, though, outside. When Duncan has missed today, it's been away from righties and into lefties. He's kind of left everything's kind of stayed arm side. Next one, that's a swing and a miss. Good pitch down and away. 2-2. He hadn't missed much today, though. He's been all over the strike zone today. Stuttgart's got a couple of very nice options in the rotation. Here's the 2-2, swing and a miss, and that'll start it out in the strike with a strikeout. Needed a cutoff on that throw down to third, and Barnes smothered it, and now there's one gone in the bottom of the fourth. All right, so Passmore goes down on strikes as Brady Wood comes to the plate. He struck out to end the first inning. He bats with one out and the base is empty. Big old boy down there. I tell you what, he's got some muscles. He's Ripley. Here's the first one from Duncan. Curveball, swinging a miss, way out in front. He's pitching him backwards. Duncan feels pretty under control right now. He's got a little grin on his face. He's feeling confident out there. He is working quickly. As the 0-1 is another curveball pounded on the ground to the third baseman. Barnes stays back on it. He's got to throw it across. He does. Nice play. Nice play. Bo Barnes showing off the howitzer on the right shoulder. 5-3 for the second put out in the bottom of the fourth inning. Barnes kind of laid back on it a little bit. Thought he may not be able to throw out Brady Wood. And not that Wood's necessarily, he's not a running back. He's more of a, we'll call him a right tackle. But still, that was a nice play by Bo Barnes there for the 5-3 putout. And that brings the third baseman McLaughlin to the plate. McLaughlin has the only hit of the afternoon against Dagan. That was a leadoff single in the second. He shows bunt, gets it down. It's right in front of the plate. Herzog comes out, and nice catch by Hillman as that ball was into the base runner. And Stuttgart is playing excellent defense here this afternoon. Holy smokes, that ball was right into the base runner. Hillman stayed with it, made the catch, and that's a 1-2-3 inning for Duncan to get his team into the dugout for the top of the fifth. Birds lead it 4-0 back in 90 seconds. You're listening to Ricebird Baseball on 105.5 The Duck.
Are you tired of leaking on yourself? Tired of those embarrassing moments? Do you have chronic sciatica? Low back pain? Are you experiencing painful intercourse? Hemorrhoids? Maybe you're dealing with erectile dysfunction. Would you like to improve your balance? And oh, the incontinence. Did you know that all of that can be resolved in as little as 3 weeks? That's right, only 28 minutes twice a week for 3 weeks. Most people notice a difference after their second session. The Emcella by BTL is so easy to use. You stay fully clothed. It's totally non-invasive. And there is 95% patient satisfaction. This is a breakthrough for incontinence and ED. And we here at the Katy Shack have made all of this relief possible for you. So why put up with those symptoms, especially now that you know that there is a cure? We have special financing available and we have amazing affordable packaging deals. This is FDA approved and proven. Please call us at 870-873-4300 and let us help you on this journey to a better, healthier way of life.
This is Kim Buffet. When it comes to personalized shopping, our staff at Coker Hampton Drug Company and Gift Shop in downtown Stuttgart are your trusted tastemakers. With nearly 100 years in our charming downtown, our gift shop offers a unique shopping experience, including bridal and baby registries. Explore our curated selection of many popular and well-known brands and products, from apparel to gourmet food, jewelry, and more. Join us where thoughtful presents meet personalized service at Coker Hampton Drug Company and Gift Shop at 218 South Main in downtown Stuttgart.
As so often happens, Sawyer Hillman made a nice play in the field for the final out of the fourth, and he leads things off in the top of the fifth. So Hillman, bottom of the order, then the top. Byers, Fontenot, Herzog bats if anyone can reach, and this is a big opportunity here. If you can get on in front of the top of the order in the fifth, you got an opportunity to make some noise here. This feels like a big at bat to potentially get some breathing room, leading it 4-0 over Southside, top of the fifth inning, third place game of the 4A2 regional tournament. 105.5 The Duck, EAB Stuttgart YouTube channel, as the first pitch is inside for ball one. Andrew Skinner is on the EAB YouTube live stream. Luke Methvin back at the station on the 105.5 The Duck board. As the 1-0 is hit in the air, foul, 1-1. Stuttgart and Southside played a doubleheader a couple of weeks ago. It was originally supposed to be a Tuesday-Thursday home-and-home, turned it into a road doubleheader for the Ricebirds. 1-1 way outside, 2-1. Southside won both of those, and, boy, in very dramatic fashion. The Rice Birds led it. Going into the final inning, Southside scored a run to send it into extras in that game one of the doubleheader. Dagan Duncan hit a 2-run home run to take a 9-7 lead, and then Southside walked them off in the bottom of the 8th. And then Stuttgart just kind of didn't have much juice in the second game, lost that one. So this is game 3 between the two teams, and both of those other ones were two very, very evenly matched teams. Downstairs, and it's 3-1. Or is it 2-1? It's 3-1. I looked at the board too early. All right, here we go. 3-1 to Hillman. Must have been a tick down, and that's going to be a leadoff walk of the bottom of the order. Oh, that will really frustrate a coach, as you never want a leadoff walk, but you sure don't want a leadoff walk of the number 9 man with Keaton Byers coming to the plate. So Sawyer Hillman stands at first, as the Rice Birds are poised to potentially add runs here. A leadoff walk has a high propensity to come around to score, and we certainly would like to see that happen here in the top of the 5th. Rice Birds lead at 4-0. Byers looks to Coach Brown in the third base box as he's flashing the signs. Southside doesn't look like they're expecting a bunt. The third baseman, he's going to come down a little bit. That's McLaughlin. McLaughlin. As Hillman takes a lead. First pitch to high from Hightower is outside. It's got to be a good bunt. Hillman will never be mistaken for Usain Bolt out there. And so he's going to have to bunt it pretty good to get Hillman up to second. So I bet they let Keaton swing away here. 1-0. Middle innings, top 5. And that's no disrespect to Sawyer Hillman. No one ever called Robert Tate Usain Bolt, and he wasn't a bad football player in his own right. Or maybe they did call him Usain Bolt. I don't know. Of course, Coach Tate, I believe, was inducted into the UCA Hall of Fame here just a few months ago, correct? All right. Here's the pitch. That's a strike, and it's a 1-1 count on the Rice Birds shortstop. Hillman stands at first with a leadoff walk. He's being held on by the first baseman. That is Brady Wood, as Hightower trying to work out of a little middle inning trouble here. Here's the pitch to Byers. He shows bunt, gets it down the first base line. He deadens it well. That's going to be a sacrifice at worst, and they threw it into right field. Here comes Hillman. They're going to stop him at third, and the Rice Birds have runners at second and third, nobody out, and the defense lets the Southerners down again. It was a very well-placed bunt. Byers deadened it about 20 feet in front of the bag. The pitcher kind of had a tough angle trying to throw it through Byers, and he just threw it over Wood's head into right field, and the Rice Birds got something shaken here in the 5th. Stuttgart has taken advantage of every Southerner mistake here this afternoon, and they just made another one, and Austin Fontenot will come to the plate. Now we're going to have time called as Adam Winter wants to talk to his infield. With a runner in second and third, nobody out situation in the top of the 5th inning. Rice Birds leading at 4-0. They've out-hit the Southerners 4-2. That's the second error of the afternoon on Southside. They've also got a couple of pass balls that have led to some problems, and so Stuttgart's trying to get some room. Stuttgart led pretty big, if I'm not mistaken, against Southside in game 1 of the doubleheader at Southside 2 weeks ago, and Southerners just chipped away. In fact, same thing happened yesterday. Southside fell behind Brooklyn in the first inning, 9-0 in their semifinal game. And then the Bearcats, with that 9-0 lead, Southside chipped away, got as close as 9-7 in maybe the longest third inning in the history of high school baseball. And ended up, Brooklyn won that game 11-7. So Southside has gotten down in the tournament, and they've battled back. So Stuttgart needs to get as many on the board as they can. Austin Fontenot is at the plate. He's a threat to pretty much do anything. Just got to be real smart on the base pass here. Byers takes a big lead at second. Pitch to Fontenot is inside for ball 1. Hillman being pretty conservative at third. Byers has taken a big bite at second as Hightower is in the windup, so that's why. He really can't do much to the runners here. Corners are in as the pitch to Fontenot, get out of play. It does, 1-1. J.D. Herzog is on deck. So this is the right part of the Ricebird order to do damage. Leadoff walk, E1. The only way a pitcher can make an error is on a throw, but that was certainly an E1. Now they're going to shift things around, and they're going to bring the infield in. Here's the 1-1 to Fontenot. Outside 2-1. We'll see if Stuttgart moves on contact or if they're a little more conservative with Herzog on deck. I would not be shocked if Stuttgart does not break on contact here. Nobody out and the number 3 batter on deck. We'll see. So Fontenot's ahead in the count, 2-1. Hightower from the windup. Here's the pitch. Swinging a miss at a ball down and in, and it's 2-2. Southside started with the corners in and then the middle back. Then they brought everybody in, which is probably the right call here, down 4-0. Can't get it. Let Stuttgart get further away. Here's the 2-2, swinging a foul left side. The wind's going to blow it back into fair territory. That's trouble. That gets down, but Sawyer-Hillman has to hold because there was nobody out. So it actually turned into just a tough play there for Southside. They had a chance to make a play. Now the bases are loaded with nobody out. The wind, it was foul off the bat, and the wind just pushed it back into fair territory, and it dropped between the third baseman, shortstop, and left fielder. Hillman couldn't advance because he had to stay close to the bag with nobody out. And so now J.D. Herzog could break this baby open with a base hit. Bases loaded, nobody out. Hightower will work from the windup. The right-hander peers in, has the sign, kicks and fires. Curveball, and, boy, that one didn't miss by much. And if you're Southside, you really wanted that pitch. That's the type of borderline strike ball that can change an at-bat. It goes the Ricebirds' way, 1-0 on Herzog. Here's the next one. There's another one, and Herzog popped it up. That's an infield fly, so that's going to be an out for the batter. He's going to drop it intentionally to see if he can get Stuttgart off the base, and so missed opportunity there. J.D. not happy with himself, but Bo Barnes has actually been the dude with the bat so far in the tournament. He's got an RBI triple today, 2 RBI triple. He has a 2 RBI double in Thursday's game. He bats with the bases loaded and 1 out. Here's the pitch. Curveball, strike called. Hightower didn't give in. He didn't get that first strike call against Herzog, and he threw another bender that J.D. popped up. So now he's thrown 3 in a row. That's been his most comfortable pitch so far this afternoon. Wouldn't be shocked to see him throw 4 in a row. Here's the next one. Swinging a bad miss there. That one was way outside, and Bo's down in the count 0-2. So situation could change drastically if Southside could get a strikeout of Barnes with Dagan Duncan on deck. From bases loaded, nobody out, strike away from possibly 2, but hopefully Bo will stay in on this one. Here we go. Pitch. Nice take. Nice take with 2 strikes. 1-2. Bo has earned an opportunity to swing again. Straight away defensively for the Southerners. Corners are on the grass. As the 1-2 delivery is on the way. Swing and a miss. Back-to-back strikeouts, and Southside is poised to get out of a bases loaded, nobody out situation. Maybe Dagan Duncan can change that. I shouldn't say back-to-back strikeouts. It was a pop-up for Herzog. So Duncan can really help himself here. He hits it in the air, shallow center. In comes the center fielder, and he makes a diving catch, and Southside got out of it. Bases loaded, nobody out, and the Ricebirds can't put one across. We head to the bottom of the 5th. Stuttgart leads at 4-0, but hopefully that's not a momentum swing in this one. We'll be back in 90 seconds. You're listening to Ricebird Baseball on 105.5 The Duck.
Hi, this is Jennifer Smith from Wilkerson Jewelers. The real value in any jewelry is the sentimental connection that you have to the pieces you own. The beautiful earrings your grandparents gave you when you graduated. The amazing engagement ring your fiancé surprised you with. The watch your company presented you with when you retired from your job. For over 50 years, Wilkerson's has been a part of those special moments. And we love that we get to be a small part of some of the most important experiences of your lives. No matter what your budget, come in to shop or check us out online at wilkersonjewelers.com. Easy financing and layaway are available. At Wilkerson Jewelers in beautiful downtown Stuttgart, we want to build memories with you.
Express Employment Professionals in Stuttgart has immediate openings for all job types and skill levels. Come in today to apply or go online to expresspros.com. Express is now hiring clerical, office and administration, warehouse and production, equipment operators, CDL drivers, welders, machine operators, general labor, and all sorts of skilled trades. Even if you're just thinking about a new job, start your search with Express Employment Professionals at 1904 South Main in Stuttgart. Come in today or go online to expresspros.com.
Hello, this is Kyle Stovison with Ag Heritage Farm Credit Services in Stuttgart. If you're looking to purchase or refinance farm real estate, equipment, cattle, or need capital for your crop operating expenses, we finance it all and share our profits through our patronage program. At Ag Heritage, we have friendly loan officers, competitive rates, and most of all, a lender who provides you with a financing package tailor-made to fit your individual needs. Please contact Kevin Wingfield or myself, Kyle Stovison, in Stuttgart at 870-673-1558. Ag Heritage Farm Credit Services is an equal housing lender.
Ricebirds loaded the bases with nobody out, had 3-4-5 at the plate, and came away with nothing. Pop-up, strikeout, pop-up into the threat for Southside. And now Dagan Duncan wants to get his team back into the dugout without allowing the momentum to switch here in the middle innings. He will work through Wyatt Bishop, Blaine Baxter, Zeb Anderson, Jace Hatfield bats if anyone reaches. So the bottom of the order for Southside here in the fifth is Dagan. I think if Stuttgart at best was hoping to get Dagan into the fifth, and here we are. So we'll see how far the lefty can go. First pitch, swing and a miss. We'll see how much of a leash Coach Brown and Coach Moser give their left-handed junior. With them leading 4-0, didn't miss by much. Herzog kind of hesitated. He thought that should have been a strike. He's actually, I think, talking to the home plate umpire right now a little bit, being very cool about it, but 1-1 now as that breaking pitch was called a ball. Upstairs, ball 2. Two balls and a strike. Here's the next one. Outside 3-1. Duncan hadn't gone to many 3-ball counts today. In fact, he has yet to issue a walk. Hope I didn't just jinx him. Swing and a miss. That was ball 4, but he expanded, and now the count goes full. So Duncan with a little help from Bishop. Bishop struck out looking in the second. He's not had the best day. He's been behind the plate, and this has been a forgettable one for Bishop today. Here's the 3-2, big pitch. Inside, swing and a miss, and that's the first out of the fifth. So from 3-1 all the way back, Duncan gets the strikeout of Bishop. His nightmare of a game continues, and that brings the left fielder Blaine Baxter. The lefty digs in. What did he do last time up? He struck out. There's a lot of Ks on this Southside score sheet. First one's a strike, center cut. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That was the 7th strikeout of the afternoon for Duncan. He's through 4 1/3. Bo Barnes way in at third, playing for the bunt. Curveball, popped it up, left side. Lane Smith ranges in, camps out, makes the catch. 2 gone. 2 gone. Baxter put out on an F7 for the second out, and Zeb Anderson bats. Anderson also a strikeout victim of Duncan here today. He was a part of that 3-strikeout second inning. So Zeb bats from the left side. Bottom of the order is full of lefties. In fact, the bottom of the order is lefty, lefty, lefty. That is maybe why Dunk has looked pretty good against them. First pitch, curveball. That one did not miss, and it was called a ball. Come on, man. Home plate umpire and Anderson gave up on that curveball, and that one came right over the heart of the plate. Swinging a foul, that should be strike 2. But it's not. It's 1-1. So it's all right. Just have to do it the hard way. Ball and a strike. Here it is. That's the corner, and that's a 1-2. That might have been a, maybe we got that one back a little. That one might have been a tick off, so we'll take it. Here comes the 1-2. Fly ball center field. Fontenot goes back to the right. Can he get there? He can. Fontenot covering ground in center, and the Rice Birds set them down 1-2-3 in the bottom of the 5th. Duncan continues to pump the strikes, and the Birds head to the top of the 6th, leading it 4-0. Back in 90 seconds, you're listening to Rice Bird Baseball on 105.5 The Duck.
Baptist Health Women's Clinic Stuttgart is committed to providing quality patient care through all stages of a woman's life. We understand that different health concerns come with each new phase of a woman's life, so we provide education services, trained staff, and a board-certified OBGYN to meet every female body need. From pregnancy and childbirth to osteoporosis and gynecological exams, Baptist Health delivers the care you need to pursue a lifetime of wellness. Learn more at BaptistHealthWomen.com. Baptist Health, for you, for life.
Do you know how much life insurance your partner has? What company is it with? Do you have life insurance? Is it through your employer only, or do you have a policy that you own? This is Holly Brothers, and as a life insurance agent, it is my responsibility to discuss the types of coverage available to you and put a plan in place for when your employer no longer provides coverage. Life insurance costs more as we age, so don't wait to apply. Let's lock in your rate today and save. Give Keith or myself a call at Connection Insurance 870-673-9249.
Tohatsu Outboard offers 4-stroke motors from 2.5 to 250 horsepower, and all with a 5-year warranty. Built with their one-of-a-kind direct injection technology, Tohatsu has revolutionized environmental performance, uncompromising their pursuit of durable and lightweight outboard motors. And with interest rates as low as 4.99% financing, now is the time to get a new Tohatsu motor from Max Prairie Wings in Stuttgart. Call Max Prairie Wings in Stuttgart or click on maxbw.com. Great service and competitive prices. Max Prairie Wings in Stuttgart. The hunt begins here.
Dagan Duncan continues to be pretty good on the mound. He's also being backed up by a very, very strong defensive performance this afternoon. Duncan's at 62 pitches through 5 innings, so maybe we'll see him out for the 6th. Hightower also out for the top of the 6th inning. He will see Lane Smith, Peyton Thompson, Cameron Rogers in the lineup, Sawyer Hillman, then the top. So Stuttgart loaded them and with nobody out, didn't push one across in the 5th. We'll see if they can get something shaken here. Ground ball, third base. He plays it back on the hop, throws across, and he threw it into left or right field. Lane Smith's going to move up to second. They're going to stop him there, and the Southside defensive miscues continue. That's going to be an E5 as, man, McLaughlin just airmailed that one over the head of Brady Wood as Southside is just kicking it around out there. So Smith stands at second. Peyton Thompson is the batter at the plate. He hit a sacrifice 4-3 back in the 4th to advance Lane Smith, or excuse me, to score Dagan Duncan, actually. My apologies. So he has an RBI today. I didn't fill in my scorebook there. All right, Hightower comes set, gives Lane a look at second, and now, long look at second. Now the pitch to Peyton. Peyton fouls it off for strike 1. Got to get him moved up to third, if nothing else. Productive at bats. Stuttgart's done a pretty good job of that with the exception of the 5th inning today. They have been pretty fundamental in this one, probably as fundamental of a performance as we've seen all year from this group. They have just kind of done. They've made the routine plays look routine today. Here's the 0-1-2, Thompson. Hightower's taking a little extra time now. He's going to look for the second time at Smith. Here's the pitch, and it's hit on the ground. Thompson's going to have to stay, and they're going to try to move Lane up second to third, and he will get there. So Thompson with another sacrifice. This one's a 5-3. Lane with pretty good base running there. He froze as the ball was in front of him. And then as soon as the third baseman turned it loose, Lane moved up, and he stands at third base with less than 2 outs for Cameron Rogers. So again, as has been the case today, just it was weak contact, but it's what it needed to be to advance the runner. So sacrifice 5-3. That's the second sacrifice of the day for Peyton. And Cameron Rogers needs to come out of the funk here. He hadn't looked. That's a ball. They call a strike. Give me a break. That's so far off the plate. No balls and a strike on Rogers. Hightower looking to pitch around a leadoff error. Here it is. That one's way outside. 1-1. So that is the third error of the afternoon on Southside earlier in this inning. Also a couple of pass balls, a play not made in right field, a play not made in center that don't go down as errors, but really plays that you kind of hope that your outfielders make. So it's just been a lot of mistakes today for the Southerners. Swing and a miss. He said it was foul tipped, so Cam's going to have to hit with 2 strikes now. 1-2. Stuttgart struck out 6 times today as a team. Anything but a strikeout here could score a run, although Southside has brought the infield in. Here's the pitch. Outside, 2-2. So Southside down 4 in the 6th. They're going to try to choke that run off at the plate if they can. Bottom of the order, I'm sure Stuttgart will go on contact. So Lane needs to get a good secondary lead on the pitch. He's not getting a very good one right now. Here's the pitch from Rogers outside, and Cam's worked him all the way from 0-2 to 3-2. Good at bat right now for the lefty. As he's kind of not in the driver's seat, but he's in a much better hitting position than he was moments ago. Lane needs to get a bigger secondary lead if he's going to score on contact to the infield. Here's the 3-2. Fouled off. We'll do it again. You can tell Cam's really trying to stay inside the baseball. As that pitch was inside, and he fouled it off to the left side. 3-2 again. Hightower, he's in the windup. Here it is. Fly ball right field, that's going to score a run. It's deep enough. Smith will tag, catch made. Smith is coming in. He will score without a throw, and the Ricebirds lead at 5-0. Once again, Stuttgart doing the fundamental things here this afternoon.
Now batting for the Ricebirds, number 19, Sawyer Hillman.
Well, that's the kind of scorebook that coaches love. Lead off contact, E5, advance to second, sacrifice 5-3, sacrifice F9 to score the base runner. That's how you win games right there. We are trying to sink Southside's battleship here. Southside's battleship is about 1 or 2 explosions away from being at the bottom of the ocean. First pitch was a ball off the plate, 1-0 to Sawyer Hillman. Hillman led off that crazy 5th inning with a walk, and he pops up to the right side. Wynn might keep it in play. It's going to stay in play. First baseman slides, but can't make the play. That one just hung up there. Brady Wood gave it a good look, just couldn't quite get there. Just kind of slid right in front of the Ricebirds' dugout, and that makes the count 1-1 on Hillman. 5-0. Stuttgart leads it in the top of the 6th inning. Dagan Duncan at 62 pitches, or was that at the start of the last inning? Here's the next one. Ball outside, 2-1. Brooklyn and Lone Oak, the Bunny Bunnies, will hit the field after this one. That hit him? No, just hit the dirt. And it's 3-1. I got a text from former Ricebird head basketball coach Lance Davis after the game yesterday, and let's just say he is not a fan of the Lone Oak Jackrabbits, which I knew that already, but he confirmed it. Here's the 3-1. That's ball 4, and that's a walk of the 9-hole batter, bringing Keaton Byers to the plate. So Hightower not doing himself any favors as the Ricebirds continue to bat here in the 6th, leading at 5-0. Already one across. Hillman stands at first. Byers at the plate. As Hightower looks like this is his game. Nothing happening in the bullpen for Southside. Baby lead over there for Hillman. Here's the delivery from Hightower. He takes a long pause, and here's the pitch outside. Gets to the backstop. Hillman's going to move up to second. He hesitated, but he moves up to second. Sawyer isn't typically asked to, move up on too many passed balls. That's not his game. That's not his game. It's like asking Dennis Rodman to shoot threes. That's just not what he does. Some of the guys, if there's any young kids listening, who's Dennis Rodman? Everybody knows who Dennis Rodman is. All right, Hillman's at second base. Maybe if Byers could put one into the gaps, that would score Sawyer. Let's see. Here is Hightower. He's taking a lot of time between pitches now. Here's the pitch outside, and the count's 2-0. Austin Fontenot is on deck. As this inning getting a little bit long for the Southerners here, and boy, Byers could put another knot on their head with a base hit. The set from Hightower gives a look to Hillman. Here's the pitch to Byers. It's on the way. Byers hits it right back through the box. Base hit. We're going to have a play at the plate. Hillman touches third. He's coming home. The throw's cut off, and it's 6-0. Byers with a 2-out RBI, scoring Sawyer Hillman, and Stuttgart leads it by 6. And that's going to bring Southside's coach Winter out of the dugout. We'll see if he's going to make a change. Austin Fontenot is the pitcher or the batter at the plate. As Winter comes out, he's going to come to the mound to talk to his infield. And before we throw a break, we'll see if it looks like there's going to be a pitching change. I think there might be. He's got all the paper and the pens and everything out, so he may be making an adjustment here. We're going to keep it here until we know for sure. As Hightower has... He's not thrown poorly. It's just been not a lot of help from his defense. He's given up 6 hits. He's walked too many. And, there's going to be a pitching change. So Hightower is going to stay in the game, and it looks like they're going to go with their shortstop, number 23, Jaden Passmore. So new pitcher for the Southerners, Jaden Passmore. We'll let him get loose, and when we come back, we'll tell you all about it. Birds lead at 6-0. They've got a man at first, 2 outs here in the top of the 6th, back in 60 seconds. You're listening to Ricebird Baseball on 105.5 The Duck.
Are you tired of unreliable internet service? Do you constantly run over your data plan? Are you having trouble getting internet service where you live? With TextStream high-speed internet, you'll get consistent high speeds and low latency that doesn't stop at city limits. TextStream high-speed internet is perfect for homes, small and large businesses, farmers, and hunting clubs. You'll be able to stream, game, and surf with no interruptions. Servicing Arkansas, Lone Oak, Prairie, Jefferson, and Lincoln counties. TextStream is your locally owned and operated high-speed internet solution. Call toll-free 866-268-0101 or visit TextStream.net.
At Farmers and Merchants Bank, we're not just a bank, we're a part of your community. That's why we're dedicated to being the neighbors who are in your corner right here in Arkansas. Whether you're saving for a new home, planning for your future, or managing your everyday finances, Farmers and Merchants Bank has the friendly local knowledge and personalized services to help you reach your goals. Farmers and Merchants Bank, in your corner, supporting the community we all call home. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Here's the pitch to J.D., swinging a miss at a curveball. So Byers, it's at second. Fontenot is at first. J.D. behind in the count 0-2. 2 outs, top 6. Birds lead at 6-0. Passmore trying to get the Southerners out of this one. Comes set quickly. Here's the pitch. J.D. grounds it to the left side. Here comes the third baseman. Fields throws across the diamond in the dirt, and the first baseman can't pick it. Keaton Byers is going to score on another error. So runners now at the corners, 2 outs. Byers scores from second. That's probably going to be an E5. I would guess, as the first baseman couldn't dig it out of the dirt. And the hit train continues with Bo Barnes now. The wheels kind of falling off right now for the Southerners. What they call that, an E5, as I expected. So an E5 now. So that has been an E5, E6, and E5 in this inning alone. Along with a walk, couple of sacrifices. Only 1 hit in this inning, and Stuttgart has scored 2, and they're threatening with Bo Barnes at the dish. And a very raucous Southside dugout, not as raucous as they were about an inning and a half ago. Harper Falke, the courtesy runner, he's going to go on the pitch. He'll go with the ball going in the dirt, so now a base hit could score 2. Harper Falke, the courtesy runner for J.D. So Falke's at second. Fontenot is at third. Barnes at the plate with a 1-0 count. Passmore sets and fires. It's in the dirt, but it gets away from the catcher, not far enough. And so now Bo's in the catbird seat. Hey, don't get cheated right here, young man. Don't get cheated. 2-0 count, and a pitcher that has not shown a mastery of the strike zone in his limited time here. Here it is. Oh, he swung, but the ball got past the catcher, and Fontenot can't, just hesitates a little too much, and they're not going to be able to cross the plate. So maybe an opportunity missed there. Barnes swings and misses at a pitch way out of the zone. He was bulked up. He was thinking MVP right there. He missed that one by 1.5 feet. So that changes the at-bat. 2-1, still runners at second and third, still 2 outs. See if Bo can make them pay here. Here it is. In the dirt, gets away from the catcher, not far enough. And now the count goes to 3-1, and Dagan Duncan is on deck. So Barnes hadn't really gotten anything to hit. Even the pitch he swung at was it was in the left-handed batter's box. So still, good hitting count here. Everything has been away and down from Passmore. Stuttgart wanting to make them pay. Don't give them any room. Here's the pitch. Swing, check swing. He did go, and the count's full now. So Barnes has not really seeing it as well in this at-bat. As Passmore's trying to get his team out of it, he shakes a couple of signs off. Now he's ready. They're going to go away from Bo again. Here's the pitch, and it's inside, ball 4. And Harper Falke was 2/3 of the way to third base. I think he thought, I'm not sure what he thought, but he's safely back at second. And so now the bases are loaded for Dagan Duncan. Passmore thought that he had got a third strike called, and he didn't get the pitch. He's a little frustrated. He's off the rubber, kind of messing with his hat a little bit right now. As Duncan digs in from the left side. One swing of the bat could open this one up in a big way. Here's the pitch from Passmore. Duncan hits it in a line over the head of the second baseman into right. Here comes Fontenot. Falke rounds third. He will score, and the Birds lead it 9-0 on a 2 RBI single from Dagan Duncan. And now Stuttgart is wanting to get that 10th run to potentially end this one in the 6th. So that's a big run out there at third base right now. They're going to try, if they could get that run across and then hold them in the 6th, this one's over. So Bo Barnes is the base runner at third. Dagan Duncan has been courtesy run for by Logan Relaford. And Lane Smith at the plate. And Lane has had a sneaky good offensive weekend. He's been sneaky good the last couple of days. Let's see if he can pick up Bo standing down there at third. Maybe a pass ball even. Here's the first one, Bender. There goes the runner, and Relaford's going to go into second without a throw. And once again, Stuttgart has runners at second and third. A base hit do more damage. Birds have already scored 5. All 5 have been with 2 outs. That's Passmore. It's a lonely place out there right now. Here it is. It's in the dirt. It gets past. Bo Barnes is going to score, and the Birds lead it 10-0. Relaford moves up to third, and the inning continues. And now we are thinking about the bottom of the inning. I guarantee you Dagan Duncan comes into the game for the bottom of the 6th now. I am 3 outs away in the bottom of the 6th inning from going to eat barbecue. And I am excited about it. Don't make me wait, boys. Here's the pitch to Smith. Lane hits it on the ground to the third baseman. That's been an adventure. Throw across the diamond, in the dirt, dug out, and that's the end of the 6th. That's the end of the 6th inning as Stuttgart pushes 6 across the plate. They lead it 10-0 as we go to the bottom of the 6th inning. Let's see. Before we take a break, we're going to see if Dagan Duncan comes out for the 6th. And if he does, we are 3 outs away from Stuttgart claiming 3rd place in the 4A2 regional. So Stuttgart's coming out. It does look like it's going to be the lefty who will be on the bump when we come back in 60 seconds. You're listening to Ricebird Baseball on 105.5 The Duck.
At Blue Seal Petroleum, serving you is their privilege. Blue Seal extends a heartfelt thank you to their valued customers across Arkansas and surrounding counties. Your trust in Blue Seal for your fuel, tire, and service needs is truly appreciated. It's your loyalty that has fueled their commitment to excellence for over 80 years. From the entire team at Blue Seal Petroleum, thank you for choosing them. They're here for you always. When you need them, call Blue Seal in DeWitt at 870-946-2281. And for Stuttgart, call 870-673-3126.
Freemeyer's Best Brands Plus has been supporting Ricebirds athletics for 46 years in Stuttgart. We're honored to be a part of the Ricebird tradition. Freemeyer's has joined with some of the best brands in America, including Whirlpool, Maytag, KitchenAid, Lazy Boy, and Sealy, to be able to supply our customers with the best values. Now, Freemeyer's has gone a step further with guaranteed price matching. If you need home furnishings, make sure you check with Freemeyer's, 201 South Main in downtown Stuttgart. Best brands, best prices, best people.
So a big top of the 6th inning allows Stuttgart to score 6. They lead it 10-0. And it was a very, very, very poor defensive showing so far for Southside. They have 5 errors in the game. There's been about 4 pass balls, a couple of plays early, a play in right field that if the right fielder makes it, it totally changes the game. Another one in center that if the center fielder makes the play, totally changes the game. It's been an adventure defensively for the Southerners here. This afternoon. Dagan back out on the bump. He's going to try to close the door. If Stuttgart can get out of this without giving up a run, then the ball game will be over, and I'll be heading down to the Bryce-Byrd Arena to get some Fat Man barbecue. Andrew Skinner just gave a that means yes, that sounds delicious. All right, so here we go. Southerners down to their final 6 outs, but they've got to score 1 or they're down to their final 3. First pitch from Dagan is a strike on the corner, and we're underway here. Let's see, where are we at in the lineup? This should be the bottom of the order. Hartfield, Hightower, and Foree, so 9-1-2. Curveball high, 1-1. No changes defensively for Stuttgart. They have played superb defense today. This has been the best defensive performance of the year, I believe. Here's the 1-1 inside, ball 2, inside and down. Stuttgart has not made any spectacular plays, but they have made every routine play, and they've made the right play when the play was there to be made. Here's the 2-1. That's a strike, 2-2. Fontenot shaded quite a bit to right center field with the left-handed hitting Hartfield at the plate. Smith is more straight away and left, so there's a lot of room in left center field right now. As the 2-2 is on the way, and it's a swing and a miss, and there's one gone here in the 6th. Duncan just continues to push out there. He is looked comfortable for the entirety of this one. And boy, they were hoping to get 5 innings out of him, and they are just a breath away from getting a complete game shutout. We don't want to talk about it, I guess, though. That's bad luck. Here's the first one to the leadoff man, Hightower. He's had probably the best contact of the game against Duncan. The first swing of the game for Southside was a hard-hit line drive right at Lane Smith and left. Other than that, it's pretty much been weak contact and strikeouts. As the 1-0 is on the way, shows bunt, bunts it foul, and it is now a 1-1 count. Boy, it's interesting, bunting down 10, but I guess if you're trying to extend the inning, maybe that's the reason why. Well, you're playing for 1 here, so you can come out for the 7th and maybe chase Dagan. 1-1 pitch upcoming. Fly ball center field. Fontenot races in, makes the catch, made it look easy, flips it to Hayden Prine at second, and we're 1 out away. Nice play by the Ricebird center fielder, and Southside's down to their final hope in the form of Cam Faree, the second baseman. Faree has most of the Southerners. He's 0 for 2 today. Southside, 1 hit is all that Duncan has given up, and that's a strike on the inner half. 1 hit, and if my book is right, that's it. Here's the next one. Swinging a ground ball, third base. Hillman on the candy hop, and that's going to do it. The Ricebirds are going to pick up the third place trophy here in the 4A2 regional tournament with a 10-0 victory over Southside Batesville. Give a round of applause to the junior left-hander, Dagan Duncan. He absolutely shoved out on the mound this afternoon. A 1-hitter from Dagan. He quieted the Southerner bats. Stuttgart offensively took advantage of all of the opportunities given to them by the Southerners on the defensive side, and Stuttgart with a very, very impressive win here in the 12 o'clock consolation game of the 4A2 regional tournament, 10-0 over Southside Batesville. Next game that we will not have on the air, but the next game played here in the 4A2 regional is the regional championship between Lone Oak and Brooklyn. Lone Oak will be the home team. They are the 1 seed out of the 4A6. Brooklyn, the 2 seed out of the 4A3. This is going to be a good game, so if you're out there looking for something to do on a Saturday afternoon, you could do a lot worse than the regional championship game. I believe first pitch is at 2:30. This one went pretty quick, so they, I think, have to wait until 2:30 to play. So you've got time to get here. It's going to be a good one. Lone Oak and Brooklyn, 2 pretty good programs. Brooklyn is the team that thinks they may have an opportunity to win a state title. So, all right. With that being said, we're going to go ahead. We're going to close it out here from the Ricebird Athletic Complex. Thank you so much for making us a part of your Saturday afternoon. Thank you so much for making us a part of the last 3 days as we've been able to bring you the 4A2 regional tournament from the campus of Stuttgart High School. Remind you one more time, final score 10-0. Stuttgart wins it. They're the third place finisher here in the regional. They're the number 3 seed in next week's 4A state tournament, which is in Monticello. The Ricebirds will play the loser of Morrilton and Joe T. Robinson, which will get underway here in about 45 minutes at 12:30 on Thursday, May the 15th. Location of that game is to be determined. It might be on the campus of Monticello High School. It might be on the campus of the University of Arkansas at Monticello. You can pay attention to the Stuttgart Daily Leader Country 97.3 Facebook page or the Stuttgart High School Facebook page to find that information out. Once again, on behalf of Andrew Skinner, Luke Methvin back at the station, I'm Cole Sherman. 10-0. The Ricebirds win it here this afternoon. Have a great rest of your weekend. So long, everyone.